Hello everybody, my name is Felix Janitsch. I'm a PhD student in Tobias Karl-Lenscher's lab at Heinrich Heine University Düsseldorf in Germany, and it is my great pleasure to present you some work of my dissertation today. How robust is rationality? Rationality in an economic sense is closely linked to expected utility theory and essentially captures the capacity to choose the subjectively best option according to one's preferences. 20th century economists were able to show that choice consistency is a necessary and sufficient condition for this. Disregarding the descriptive or predictive accuracy of expected utility theory, choice consistency can still and does still serve as a benchmark for decision quality that is agnostic to subjective preference. It has recently been proposed that rationality is affected by internal and external factors, and this belief of malleability mirrors the current zeitgeist. In this project, we set out to underpin this proposal with a quantitative synthesis of the literature. To this end, we conducted a systematic literature research on studies that contained hypothesis tests on possible influence factors of choice consistency, such as the influence of drugs, stress, aging, or brain damage. After reviewing in total more than 3,000 unique articles, we arrived at an inclusion set of 44 articles. To quantify the evidence of a true effect of internal and/or external factors on choice consistency, we used P-curve analysis. P-curve analysis uses the distribution of p-values in the published literature to make inferences about the presence of a true effect. Due to the risk of publication bias against non-significant results, only p-values smaller than 0.05 are considered. The null hypothesis of no true effect in the literature is then characterized by a flat distribution of p-values in that range, whereas the presence of an effect would result in a right-skewed distribution. Various statistical tests can be performed to test the null hypothesis, some of which are even robust to more ambitious fraudulent statistical practices. In addition to P-curve analysis, to capture the conceptual connectedness between the included articles, we quantified the pairwise overlap of references. Descriptively, 17 out of all 21 significant p-values fell in the lower half of the range of significant p-values. That means p smaller than 0.025. In line with this, our P-curve analysis indicates significant evidential value for the choice consistency is affected by internal and/or external factors. Further, we find no evidence that studies' evidential value is inadequate, and the statistical power estimate of the included studies amounted to 96%. However, overall, it is important to point out that the breadth of the search for influence factors, that is roughly more than 20 different influence factors in just 44 articles, stands in contrast to the severe lack of replications. We were able to retrieve the full bibliographic record, including references, for 38 out of the 44 included articles from Scopus. The heat map visualizes the pairwise Spearman rank correlation in referenced articles as a rough quantitative measure of conceptual connectedness. In alignment with the qualitative coding of the investigated influence factors, this quantitative analysis suggests little overlap in the conceptual structures of the concluded articles, undermining the breadth of the current research program on influence factors of choice consistency. Hence, from our results, we can formulate three takeaways. First, there is strong evidence in the literature that rationality is malleable by external and/or external factors. Second, evidence for more specific synthesized statements is still sparse, however. Third, choice consistency research is conceptually diverse and only loosely connected, as indicated by bibliometric indicators. Finally, these are my references, and I want to dearly thank my co-author and PI Tobias Karl-Lenscher for his support in this project, as well as our great student assistants Alina Kessler, Paula Klug, Paul Kramer and Marie Ludis for their assistance with the literature research. Thank you for your time and your interest from the other side of the internet, and I very much hope to see you soon.